All right, today I wanted to talk about my recent development and my overarching life philosophy now, which is to stop doing shit that I don't like. Stop doing shit I don't want to do. Because I realize I have spent so much time, thousands of hours, doing things I didn't want to do and things I didn't have to do. And it's like, well, why the fuck did I do that then? That's what makes no sense. And I realize it's the reason I had so many problems with depression and anxiety and why those things got worse. I really think that. Sorry, I had to burp. I really think that a lot of mental illnesses come from being forced to do things you don't want to do. Yeah, like having things forced on you that you don't want. I feel like that is a pretty good description of what trauma is. Yeah, when you like don't really have control. And like I look back on my life and I realize like since I was like 9 years old, I have not acted in accordance with what I actually want to do with my life. I've acted in accordance with my fears and anxieties because of how my parents abused me physically and emotionally. And so now I'm realizing like I can't live my whole life like this. Obviously like it wasn't my fault, that my life was like this, but like when I was a kid, but now, it's kind of my responsibility to make my own life for myself. And I just realized how much of a waste my life would be if I spent my life doing things that I didn't actually want to do. And after I graduated college, I caught myself doing that. Like I took this job as a warehouse manager for Amazon because, my degree was in supply chain management in college. And I was like, well, that's the next logical step, is to do that, and I'm making like 60, 70K a year, great job out of college, right? No, I mean, like the job wasn't horrible. Like it's definitely doable, but I just hated it. I didn't like it. It wasn't enjoyable, and I didn't have to be doing that job. Like no one was forcing me to do that job. So why was I doing it? That was what I realized a couple months ago, and I just quit. Like, why am I doing this? Like, I don't have to do this. And then I kind of started reflecting even more, and I realized that I don't even like. I wish I hadn't gone to college either. Honestly, like, why did I even go to college? Like, sure, I guess college is benefiting me maybe because like it'll make me get more money in the future. I don't know, but like, what if I don't want more money? That's the thing. Like, I don't. I almost even regret graduating college. Like, it's not that hard to make a living. It's really not that hard. Like, it'll be more difficult if you have kids, but like if you just are if it's just you, it's really not that hard to make that much, like to make enough money just for your bare necessities. Like, and I'm not talking about like paying for YouTube Premium, like Spotify, paying for streaming services and all that. I mean just like your basic necessities like electricity, water, rent, food. Like you can get by pretty easily just working, like maybe you need to pick up a part-time job or something, but it's doable, like I for a long time like I overperformed in school because I literally thought it would be like life and death. Like I thought it was life and death. Like if I didn't succeed, I was going to be homeless. Like if I didn't get a super high GPA and a really good ACT score, then I would be homeless. That was like my thought process because my parents were assholes. But now I realize, bro, it was such a waste of time. Like there were so many times when I just wouldn't go to like football games in high school because I decided I needed to study for the ACT. And the good news is I got a good ACT score. I got a 33 on my ACT. And I got a full ride to college But who cares? Like I didn't even really want to go to college. So then what is the point of all that work? Like I didn't actually want to go to college. I just didn't want to disappoint my parents, basically. And I regret all of it. Like I regret all those AP classes. I regret getting like a 4.3 GPA in high school. And I regret like I took on a bunch of leadership positions in college too because I was just used to overachieving. And yeah, I regret all those too because it wasn't genuine. Like I was playing a character, like I was putting on a performance. It's like why am I doing these things that I don't actually want to do? Like I can force myself to do these things, like I can force myself to be good at them, but I didn't enjoy it. And I realize now that's why I was depressed. Like you can't live a logical life and expect to be happy. You can't just like write down a plan for your life on paper based on what the most logical thing to do is. Like that doesn't make sense. Like maybe, being a doctor or something is the most logical thing to do because you make the most money, but it doesn't matter if you don't like being a doctor. You're you're not going to be good at it because you're going to be miserable. But my parents are stupid and they think that like if they went to college, that means their kids have to go to college in order to be successful. Like it's just such stupid closed-minded thinking. Like it's stupid thinking. Like you're telling me that just because I don't go to college right after I graduate high school, that means I'm going to be a failure. Like just because I don't go to college right after I graduate high school, that doesn't mean I'm never going to go to college. Like it would have been so much better if I would have just graduated college. I mean, graduated high school. Worked for a while, doing some random job or whatever, and then decided later if I'm going to go to college. Because like right after high school, I went to college, and I had no idea what I actually wanted to do. Like I didn't even really know why I was going to college except that I was supposed to do it. And I started out in engineering because like I had basically forced myself to be good at mathematics and science and stuff. But just because you're good at something doesn't mean you actually need to do it. Like you can probably be good at pretty much anything, like if you really put the effort into it. But like what is the point of that? But yeah, like my first semester of college freshman year, like I was doing fine in my like calculus and physics classes. I was doing fine. I was doing good in chemistry. But I was like it was just too much effort. Like I was putting the hours into study and do the homework, but I just hated it. I just hated it so much, and I was so depressed because I forced myself to keep going. I forced myself to keep going for the whole semester. Keep doing all these stupid classes that I hated, and eventually I just couldn't do it anymore. Like I was so depressed, bro. I literally didn't want to live because I was forcing myself like for another year to do this shit I didn't like. And the next semester I ended up switching to business, and I like gave myself a really hard time with that because I felt like I was like copping out. Like I felt like I was like just admitting like I was stupid. But like yeah, it's funny because like I ended up graduating with my business degree and like I made more money starting out than other people I graduated with that got in engineering degrees. So it's not like your degree even means it doesn't even your degree doesn't even like guarantee anything about your career. Literally doesn't. Like there's people I worked with in my warehouse job that had engineering degrees because they couldn't get an engineering job. It's like you have to get an engineering degree, and you actually have to interview and apply to jobs. That's an entirely different thing. Like you got to actually know what jobs you're actually trying to get. That's what a lot of people literally don't think about in college. It was crazy. Like I graduated with some people, and they had engineering degrees, and they still like on graduation day they hadn't applied to any jobs. I'm like, what? What? And there's like these guys that were mechanical engineers that now they work at a trucking firm, like coordinating logistics for shipments. It's like, why did you get an engineering degree then? But yeah, I regret all of the success I achieved. It was all meaningless. Like, what is the point in doing shit you don't have to do if you don't want to do it? It was all just scare tactics by my parents because they had their own insecurities. But it's it's rude. It's honestly rude because it shows how little trust they had in me. Like, why do you not believe in me? Like, you really don't believe in me so much that you think that if I didn't go to college, I wouldn't be successful. Like, you really think I wouldn't be able to find a way to be successful and to like make money? Being successful just means being happy with your life, being happy with what you're doing. Like, do you think that someone that makes it to the top of their banking company, but they're completely miserable and they have no relationships and they hate their life, are they successful? I mean, even if they are, let's say they are successful. Okay, then what's the point of it? What's the point of it? Literally, there's no point in being successful if you're not enjoying it. Like even if if you're making good money, but you can't actually relax enough to actually spend your money, what is the point? It doesn't make sense. So yeah, you should stop doing shit that you don't want to do. Yeah, avoid doing as much unenjoyable stuff as you can. Cuz like being forced to be around people you don't want to be around, being forced to go to a school you don't want to go to, being forced to take classes you don't want to take, being forced to live somewhere you don't want to live. All of those things will make you depressed. Like that is infringing on your freedom. So why wouldn't you be depressed? Like repression of expression is what causes depression. Like when you repress parts of yourself, try to hide parts of yourself, you're going to be depressed. You're going to have mental health problems. Don't be surprised. Like it's okay if you don't like public speaking. It's okay if you don't like math and science. It's okay if you don't like working on cars. It's okay if you don't like finance. Like there's other ways to make money. There's literally like an infinite amount of jobs out there. Like if you don't like your job, I mean, for the most part, you can just go get a different job that you dislike less. I know it's different for everybody because some people have kids and stuff, but I mean, if you don't want your kids, like if you have kids and you really don't like having kids, like I think you should put them up for adoption. Because like I know of people that had parents that didn't actually like their kids. And it's such a waste of everybody's time. Like, why would a kid want to be there with parents that don't like them? And why would parents want to be with kids when they don't like kids? It's such a waste of time. Like, yeah, maybe you're going to hurt someone's feelings in the short term, but like, if you don't like your kids, put them up for adoption if you can. I'm not even joking. Like, you're wasting your life. You're actively wasting your time when you do things you don't want to do. And of course, there's things that we kind of have to do that we don't want to do, like paying our taxes and going to the DMV, but like, you should cut out as much of that you should cut as much of that shit out of your life as possible. Otherwise, you're going to be miserable. You're going to hate yourself. Like, if you don't like the person you're married to, you should get a divorce as soon as possible. Why are you wasting your life, dude? There's other people you can go get married to. If you don't like your job and like you like have money to support yourself, quit your job. If you don't like the college you're going to, go to a different college. I just wish someone would have told me this, dude. Like, I don't have to do shit if I don't want to. No one told me that, bro. I just thought like I had to basically be performing my whole life, like masking essentially. And a lot of people like never figure this out, and they do it their whole life, bro. And they wonder why they're so unhappy. Like people will start families when they actually didn't want to start a family because they were just doing what they're supposed to do. They don't actually have any idea who they are. And that's exactly what my dad did and my mom. I I mean they tell me things like they tell me they're glad to have kids, but I just don't believe them. Like if you saw someone that like is working at an insurance company and they say they love their job, but like they walk in every morning with like a frown on their face and their tone of voice is always super low and they're never smiling and they don't make any effort to talk to their coworkers. Like, do you really believe that they're enjoying their job? No. Actions speak louder than words. And I really don't believe my parents actually wanted to have kids. I think they really tried to like lie to themselves to make them think that they wanted to have kids, but I don't think they actually did because they didn't treat us like they would have treated us if they actually liked us, you know? It's pretty simple. But it's so weird, dude. Like, people in my family are like this where they like will actively do things that you know they don't want to do because they want to uphold some like moral framework or some like obligation. Like they want to uphold this image. But like why? Why are you doing this to yourself? Like it's all in your head, dude. No one fucking cares. Like you're doing this to yourself. You're actively doing this to yourself. No one is making you do this. Like my parents just stayed married for 29 years. Even though like after year 2, bro, they were miserable. They saw like 10 different marriage counselors, bro. Like at some point you got to just cut your losses. Like if you're regularly seeing a marriage counselor just to keep your marriage afloat continuously, like that's not good, dude. You can just quit. But my parents didn't have this mentality like never give up. No, you need to give up sometimes. You need to give up. It is not healthy to never give up. That's such a bullshit motivational saying, dude. You need to know when to give up. And I didn't know when to give up. You're always giving up something anyways, you know, like even if you like pursue like a bunch of success in the business world, like you're going to be giving up other things like spending more time with your wife and your kids or maybe not even having a wife or kids at all. Like you have given up on those things. So you're always giving up on something. So don't think that giving up is bad. Like a business has to give up on some things in order to stay profitable. Like you can't just keep putting millions of dollars into a product that's losing money, you know? Your business will go bankrupt. At some point you have to say, "Hey, I've lost enough money, I've lost enough time. I'm going to stop doing this." But like my parents didn't do that, bro. They just stayed married and they were miserable the whole time. And so like what happens when you lie to yourself like that? Well, you become depressed. You become a shell of yourself. You have mental health issues because you're essentially ignoring your emotions and your thoughts. You're ignoring yourself. And then surprise, surprise, your kids are going to have mental health issues too because they're surrounded by miserable people. And that's what happened to me. Yeah, maybe my depression isn't actually genetic or hereditary. Maybe it's because my mom, like my parents and my grandparents, maybe it's because they all made horrible decisions with their life. And that's what caused the depression. Like they're just continuously making bad decisions and then they're surprised when they're miserable. Like seriously? And by the way, like my depression has pretty much gone away completely since I stopped being around miserable people and since I stopped making bad decisions. Like bad decisions are when you do things you don't actually want to do. Like me going to college was a bad decision. Me graduating high school, me getting a 33 on my ACT, getting a high GPA in high school and college, those were bad decisions because they were not genuine decisions. They weren't things I wanted to do. It was such a waste of time. And it still fucking pisses me off that there's boomers out there and people that are my age that like will force their interests onto other people. Like parents that force their own personal interests onto their kids. Like this isn't fucking Build-A-Bear, dude. Like you don't get to decide what other people's interests are. I don't even get to decide what my own interests are. Like, we don't get to pick our interests. We just are who we are, you know? So I don't know, like, why parents feel the need to, like, mold their kids into a certain framework. Like, just let your kid grow up and be who they're gonna be. Like, if you actually, like, support them emotionally, they're not gonna be horrible people. Like, just support them. You know, if they want to be a teacher, great. If they want to be a chef, great. If they want to work at a restaurant, if they want to work at Walmart, like, that's fine. They can find a way to make a living, dude. If you're happy, you will find a way to make a living. But my dad, JJ Hunt, would always make these, like, snide remarks about, like, people that worked in customer facing jobs, like people that worked at Kohl's or like at Walmart. Like, well, you know, if you don't go to college and study, you're going to turn out like them. What do you mean I'm going to turn out like them? What does that even mean, dude? Like, you're just assuming that all these people are the same. Like, you have no idea where each of these people are in their lives. Like, what if there's some of these Walmart workers that are pregnant? Are you saying that I'm going to turn out pregnant if I go and work at Walmart? Like, the statement doesn't even make sense. Like, if I don't go to college, I'm going to end up working at Walmart. Okay, and? Like, I'm going to end up with a job and be able to pay my bills? Oh no. I don't get it. It doesn't actually make sense. It's a stupid pride thing where, like, my dad thought he had a better job than these people. What does that even mean, dude? There's no such thing as you having a better job than other people. Like, they wouldn't be at that job right now if it wasn't the best job for them at that moment. Like, at that moment, that is the best job for them to have. Otherwise, they wouldn't be there. Maybe they won't be there forever. Maybe it's their last day. You don't know. But they're at the best place they could possibly be in that moment, just like you are. Even though my dad was working a bum ass job too. That's what was funny, dude. He was like he was an email guy in the military, in the Air Force. He would just answer emails, bro. Like, dude, you're fucking a bum. Like, you can have deadbeat parents even if they live in the same house as you and they don't do drugs. Like, just because your parents don't do drugs and because they live with you, that doesn't mean they're not deadbeats, bro. My dad had a full-time job. He had a career. And he was a deadbeat. He was a bum, dude. He was a bum. He was living a charade, bro. He did not want to have kids. He didn't want to be a dad. And he was just there, dude. He was just there. He wasn't true to himself at all, dude. People shit on people that leave their kids, but I respect it. Like, you didn't want to have, like, you regretted having kids, and you didn't want to be with your kids anymore. So you just left. Now, ideally, they should have never had kids in the first place, right? Ideally, they should still be providing support if there's another person that's taking care of their kids. But, like, if there's a mom, like a baby mama that's taking care of the child of a dude or whatever because they smashed and she doesn't want to do it, she should put that kid up for adoption if she doesn't want to do it. Like, give that kid to someone that actually wants to take care of it, you know? Like, it's okay to do that. You're not a bad person. Yeah, but if you spend your life doing shit you don't want to do, you're going to waste your life. That is just a fact, I'm telling you. Like, if you're miserable right now, it is because you're doing shit you don't want to do. It is that simple. It is actually that simple. You're doing shit you don't want to do, or things are happening to you or being forced onto you that you don't want. That is why you're miserable. And you should try to find a way out as soon as possible, dude. Like, do shit you actually want to do with your life, and you'll actually enjoy life. You'll be like, wow, like, life is great. Like, I'm not even fucking kidding, dude. Like, you start doing shit you want to do in life, or at least stop doing shit that you dislike. Try to do as little shit that you dislike as possible, like, and you'll be so happy. You'll be so surprised how happy you can be. Like, if you don't like spending time with your kids, find a way to spend less time with your kids. Like, it doesn't mean you have to be an asshole, but maybe you just need more breaks. You need more time away from your kids than other people do. And then whenever you are around your kids, you'll be in a better mood and they'll like you for that. So, like, Like, if you don't like doing laundry, try to not do your laundry. If you don't like brushing your teeth, then try not to brush your teeth, dude. Like, just use mouthwash every couple days. Like, if you don't like doing laundry, then just like rewear certain pants if they don't smell bad, you know? Like, there's not like rules for this type of shit. But yeah, since I've stopped lying to myself, I've been so much happier. Like, just because I can do something and just because I am fully capable of doing something doesn't mean I actually should do it. Like, there are a lot of high paying careers and jobs that I am capable of doing, but I don't want to fucking do them. Like, no amount of. There's no salary high enough that is worth being miserable for. There's no amount of money. Like, I'm not gonna go out of my way to take a high paying job and be miserable when I could just take less money and be happier. Like, I'm just telling you, dude, you're wasting your life if you're miserable. You're wasting your life. Now, inevitably, we are going to all waste some time because sometimes we are just miserable and we don't realize our mistakes. And we don't realize why we're miserable, but it's still wasted time. So yeah, stop being miserable and go do something you actually enjoy, dude.